Boop, 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 boop. Uh, Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal, and it's Friday. I do not have a investigation tonight, so I decided to jump on the show and reach out to some friends that's been on the show before, and of course, they agreed to come on and say hello, and we're going to chat a little bit about what they got going on up there. I haven't spoken to them in a bit, but like I tell every team at the end of the podcast, I will be reaching out to them to see how they're doing. And that's what I'm doing. So tonight, guys, I am in Kentucky. Hey, guys, what's going on? How you been?
Pretty good. Yeah, we're taking a day at a time, trying to stay ahead of the my health issues and getting ready for our busy schedule for next month with an investigation presentation and our annual Halloween investigation. We're going to be investigating the Sacramento battlefield, which I've done a few times, but the team has never been there, so I'm taking them there for the very first time. We'll be investigating the battlefield, the houses on the battlefield. So it should
Oh,
be pretty
wow.
good.
The Sacramento battlefield.
Yes, sir.
Uh, People down here in Texas don't know much about that. I mean, unless you're a big history buff. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened and the history of the place and all that good stuff?
Well, it's a little bitty town that part of the Civil War was fought on, and the house that sits on the field they used for a makeshift, I guess you would say, hospital where they would do amputations, surgeries, and things like that. And everything is still original inside the house. Nothing has been taken out. It's still got the original furniture, the original dishes, tables, beds, clothes, sewing machines, fireplace, cannonballs, the whole 9 yards.
Oh wow! I bet that is a very interesting place. Now, was this for the north or for the south?
The North.
The north. Oh wow, that is pretty interesting. Now you said you've been there before. Give me a little bit of what you found when you went there the first time. Was it as up to par, or what? Was it exactly what you thought it was going to be like, or was it? Yeah, you kind of
Actually,
had a little
yeah,
skeptic about it.
actually, it was a little bit more than I expected. I mean, we did pick up a few residual activity, of course, but we also picked up quite a bit of intelligent as well. I was upstairs by myself, and I could clearly hear footsteps just clearly walking around me.
Hmm.
Then at another point, me and another investigator were up there, and this bright light just came out of nowhere, lit up the whole room, and we thought maybe it was headlights from outside. So I look out the window, don't see nobody, and I have another one of my investigators pull his vehicle across the street and face the headlights toward the house, and you couldn't even see the headlights coming through the house. So what that was, I have no idea. Uh, we picked up a couple of voices where I would ask if they fought for the North or the South, and we got the North. And
Well, that makes sense. I did some research into the place when we got it booked, and I've never been. I never had the opportunity to go myself. But
Hmm.
North had the most casualties. Now there was only a handful of deaths. I think maybe a little over 50, if I remember correctly.
yeah, something around there.
But majority of them were Northern soldiers. I think the South only lost like 7 out of the whole situation. Apparently, 2 of them were from accidents. So I mean,
Excuse me.
yeah, I mean, the North ended up winning it, but like they definitely took the worst. It wasn't a big battle by any means, but that's why you don't really hear about it when you do Civil War
Mm.
history. It's one of the little skirmishes, but I mean, it's a pretty large area
Mhm.
that it happened in. I mean, it's every bit of, I say, 1,000 acres, easy.
Wow.
And
Okay. When you mentioned this battlefield, it's in Kentucky, right?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's in a town called Sacramento, Kentucky, in Hopkins County.
Sac- How-
It's what 20 minutes from here,
Yeah, about that.
maybe 20, 30 minutes from here, depending on how you
Now,
go.
It's a historical site, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's protected by the state's historical
I believe it is because they still.
department.
I believe it is because they still do reenactments there every year.
Okay.
It might be. I'm not sure because I know it's privately owned.
Right.
Like there's one person that owns it, but
How-
or a family rather that owns it. But I didn't know if it was. I haven't looked that deep into it. I was looking
Now,
at deaths
wow.
and stuff, that way I knew what to expect going into it.
Now, has this property been owned since the Civil War by a specific family, or has it has changed hands over the time?
I do believe that it's being passed down through generation to generation.
Within the family, or different types, or different families?
I would like. I want to say the same family, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
but
don't quote us on that.
yeah,
We're
but,
not sure.
But I
Okay,
do
yeah.
believe it's the same family.
Yeah.
Okay. What are they? I mean, what are they charging to get in this location?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
They
Now,
have it, you can do it.
are you allowed to stay as long as you want, or there's a kick out time?
Now we go in that afternoon. Well, me and Joe going to get there probably around noon to get the keys and set up and everything. Because I got to come back and take my granddaughter trick or treating, then drop her off, and then we're going to meet back out there probably about 8:30, and we'll be there the entire night to probably
sunrise for sure.
Yeah, sunrise.
Okay. So, and what's the arsenal? You guys got any new equipment that you need to tell me about, or?
I don't think we've got anything new since last time.
No, not really. I mean, we just been messing around, trying different techniques and stuff.
Okay. I got a new. I got a new device, man, and it looks for all you marijuana smokers out there. This is not what this is, but I'm gonna let you guys know it is shaped like a bong. It is probably 2.5 feet tall. The only difference, it has that tube and it has the base. Now, I guess a person that wanted to be a little imaginative can actually make it into a bong, but the people that made it for me made that long tube and that's the base, and I call it the bong because it looks like one, and it basically, guys, is a 2 foot tall REM pod.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty tall. It's about as tall as your. Wait a minute, it's probably taller than my tripod I'm looking at with my lights are on, and my tripods probably elevate maybe the extension probably 5 feet, 6 feet. So you cut that in half. Yeah, it's probably 2.5 feet.
Oh wow!
I will have to show you guys that. And it's LED. And the great thing about it, guys, is the most problem that paranormal investigators have is when you're dealing with the REM pod and something that's, what can I say? What can I say? That's really not. I'm trying to think of a REM pod that I can use for an example. Well, it can't be the scare bear because the scare bear lets you know. Okay, and for an example, when you in a location where there's a lot of noise and you really can't hear anything, well, this REM pod will actually the whole bong will actually light up, so you can actually flip the audio off and just use the visual effects of it. And and I took it. I've tested it out on some of the locations here in Austin, and man, it works fine. I mean, I was impressed with it. Matter of fact, I was thinking about buying another one because something like that, man, you can actually get three of them, and you can use somebody as a guinea pig, put them in the middle. You'd be like a little triangle. Have one here, one there, one there, one there. Have them sit in the middle and have them communicate with whatever spirits that's there, and it lights up. Man, you're able to change the colors: green, orange, red, yellow, blue. It really don't matter. but it is so freaking cool, dude. And then again, dude, you could lose it at nighttime because it's so big. So I invested in one of those, and if
So
you
how much would
like,
one of those run?
huh?
I say, how much would one of those run?
Oh, dude, you know what? It cost me $65, but it ended up running me 85 because he doesn't pay for the shipping. I pay for the shipping, so altogether it cost me like 85 or $90. But it's well worth it, Bill. I'm telling
Absolutely.
you.
That's cheaper than the ones we use.
Yeah, I mean, considering the ones that we got, I mean, that we buy cost more than that.
Yeah, this guy, hey, his name is Ben Builders. Guys, look him up on Facebook. He's got different stuff that you guys want to check out. Hey, I even got my little fire truck from him. Oh, matter of fact, yeah, I bought two devices from him. I bought the fire truck, which the kids, use, and I got that. But for some reason, all the kids are more interested in the bong than actual the fire truck, which is really weird because if you touch the fire truck, it freaking it'll roll off. It'll just take off.
Mm.
And you would think that the kids would be more attracted to that than to
Absolutely.
what the bong is.
Right.
It's pretty cool, man. I mean, and believe it or not, I got a guy, and if you really want a bigger REM pod, I got a guy, dude, who can make a REM pod. Oh man, I was gonna say maybe 5 feet tall with an extension.
Man, that'd be a little bit too big.
But it's one of those things with the
Uh,
but
I light up the whole room.
Yeah.
yeah, but check it out though. But it's something that if you take it to a location where a lot of people have been,
Mhm.
I guarantee you it'd be a magnet because it's something that the spirits or the ghosts or the people have not seen before. So it'd
Right.
definitely be an eye catcher.
Right. It'd just be kind of hard to pack it up and load it with all the other equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one here, the bong, the guy is so cool, dude. It comes with its own case, or its own like little miniature suitcase.
That's
You
awesome.
put it on your back, or you take it and put it on your strap. You got the, I mean, it comes fully loaded, except for the batteries.
Right.
Hey, I see you guys got something coming up October 15th. Tell me a little bit about that.
Let's see, that's our annual Halloween presentation at the local library. This be our 9th or 10th time doing it. I mean, we done
Mhm.
yes, so we've done it for the past almost 10 years. And what we do, we just go out there, we set up a PowerPoint, we discuss the paranormal, what the paranormal is, signs of the paranormal, the different types of hauntings, what to expect with each type of haunting, what EMF stands for, EVP stands for, what a disembodied voice is. I may go into a little bit of teaching a small bit of demonology. That way you can tell the difference between an actual demonic type haunting and or a poltergeist or a human spirit or an elemental type haunting.
That's always the big hitter with the crowd. That's
Yeah.
when they really start to lean into their chair and really start listening real well.
Mhm.
That's what they look for.
Then we show some of our past evidence, videos, audio, pictures, show the equipment, the type of equipment we use, how we use it, what it's used for, the purpose of it. And then we go into our cleansings and blessings, exorcism kits, explain how we do that and what each of that stuff's used for. And
Every year we have more people come out. I think last year they had almost 100 people in that.
Oh wow, that's hell. I can.
Getting around and everything. Like we didn't have enough seating, and eventually we're gonna have to end up getting like a something bigger than the library to do it in if the way it keeps going.
Right?
community center or something.
Yeah, we're gonna get a community center, do it outside or something. I mean,
Wow. Now, is this something that you and the library put together, or do you just use the library as a home base for this
No,
event?
it's kind of symbiotic. We
yeah, they contact us every year to come
Yeah.
back out and do it.
they get a lot of business from us, and we get a lot of business from doing it. So it works out benefit for both of us.
Right.
That library at one point during the pandemic really lost a lot of funding, and they were talking about shutting it down. And so because I don't think we did one in 2020.
We didn't.
I think because we were still in a lockdown up here.
Mm-hmm.
But we got right back into it in October 2021. We've done it every year since then.
Yeah.
And they generated a lot of money in 2021 from it. They got so much more people coming in and getting memberships to the library and stuff, and it helped them out a lot. And of course, every year we do it. Within a few months afterwards, we we clients and it gets
we'll do
heavy.
like drawings and everything. We'll give out certain things like maybe Palo Santo or some incense, holy water, anointed oil, pendants. I've given out some of my books. I even gave out an EMF detector, I think last year, didn't I?
Yeah, we gave them one of the old EMF detectors. Ones we just had and just kind of quit using after a while. And I told him, I said, man, why don't we just give that elephant a raffle? Like that'll.
There you go. Yeah.
We just want the older school ones. This one's like the old digital screen ones that don't light up. Old school stuff that we just got away from using, but people are really interested in that thing. Because they're still pretty expensive for what they are.
They are.
And this year we're doing something. We're going to try to anyway. Seeing as it falls right before the Halloween investigation, we're actually going to try to draw names and bring guests because that's something.
Oh wow!
So
that would be cool.
Yeah, we're going to start promoting that here shortly.
Now, in the next couple of weeks or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, after this event that you guys have on the 15th, do you guys see your your phone a little bit ringing because people are like
Facebook messages and
like I said, we get pretty busy afterwards, and I hate it too because we take time off for the holidays Christmas talk about those last 2 weeks off from usually about the 20th to the 2nd or so, and unless it's emergency cases, of course, because then you just got to do them. But, that's
I've actually done one on Christmas.
Yeah, that's our downtime. And
I've actually done one.
So January, February, after one of these things, it stays. Really November too, because like last year, I think we had like 2 or 3 that we did in November alone, right after the
God, let me ask you a question. If you guys was to have a like you guys are saying, you guys want to give stuff away. What is the one device that you wouldn't give away? You think that would scare a person if they did get it and they find it going off in their home?
Probably that motion detector.
Yeah.
That motion detector gets me every time because the way it works, you have to move in front of it. I've dropped it and it don't go off.
Well, not only that, but I mean, even if you were so far to the side of it.
Yeah, it's got a damn near 180-degree range on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to it. And
oh wow.
And we've had
very sensitive.
Yeah, super sensitive. And it's those, it's like you hear that thing go off and there's nothing out and around it.
There's something there.
Start to question like what set that off.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've dropped it before and it wouldn't go off.
Wow.
So it's not vibration or nothing like that.
Or sound.
It's not sound. I mean, we've tried everything for it. Something has to move in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be something of substantial size because we've had like mice run in frnt of it at places and it didn't go off. So I mean,
really,
that's pretty big. Yeah.
Or flies laying on it.
I would say even though I don't use them anymore, I would have to say a cat ball. That's because if you got something sitting on the that cat ball sitting on the counter and there's no vibration and let's for an example that you're just sitting there watching TV. Mm-hmm. You look over at the counter and that some bitch is going off and you know damn well that it's motion activated. Like what the hell is going on? I mean,
this last investigation we did, I actually kind of proved that they're quite not that. They we had 2 of them sitting on a coffee table in this client's living room, and the house echoes a little bit, and it gets kind of loud in there when you're doing it. We were doing a spirit box session, excuse me, and that the 2 cat balls just kept going off over and over again, and it got to the point where I'm thinking, well, maybe this isn't paranormal. If something happens too often, I start to think maybe it's not paranormal. Mm-hmm. So I stood up and just clapped in the direction of it. It went off.
But
I looked at the other one. did the same thing. It went off, and I was like, "Well,
But-
crap." You know, so
But the thing is, that doesn't always happen. I mean, we've been
Not
places
always,
where
but-
we banged on the walls, stomped on the
Yeah.
floors,
I think it was just the
pushed the
circumstance.
beds, and nothing set it off.
Right. I think it's just
Until we actually touch it.
I think it's the circumstance of the situation it was in.
Yeah.
So to anybody watching, if you're going to use cat ball toys, be careful with
Experiment
it.
first.
Experiment with it. I think we've got one.
Yeah, they're right
Yeah. It's right here. What we're talking about. Little.
You gotta hold it. There you go.
They light up like that. You know, Terry, I know you know what these are. This is the standard everybody gets.
Put it right here for a second. Let's see.
He's not going to see it. I don't care.
Well, I'm gonna bring it down.
We're going to try to demonstrate that. Like I said, circumstances given to that case was a little different. If that thing will ever stop. These things run too long. I swear.
Yeah, they really too long.
It's going to work right.
Let me know if you can see that, Terry.
Yeah. I got it.
All right. Nothing.
Yeah, but yeah,
Nothing.
Like,
Nothing.
mean, but for whatever.
Oh, there it goes. It goes off, but you can see it's motion or sound activated.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, that night it was working that way. So I
It
mean,
was wow.
you got to test your equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, test your equipment. No matter what it is, no matter how fail safe you think it is, it's not.
Right.
You know, especially these little things. I mean, they're what, like $1 at most. Maybe.
I ordered 9 for like maybe $5.
That's what I'm saying. So they're really cheap.
You got to give me that because I look on eBay, I get 3 for like $15. So if I can get 9,
I don't know.
and the thing is, guys, I got a experiment. I'm actually gonna try to bring them back, but I'm trying to put together a new device where with the cat ball, and you guys probably seen those where they got those motion detection LED lights where you put them out. Yeah. Well, who says that you cannot use those things? I don't know if you're able to drill a hole into that cat ball and run a string to them and have a string of cat balls. I'm not for sure is that glass or plastic?
Plastic. I don't see why I couldn't do that.
So I think you're able to drill like a small hole through each one, tie off each one, probably maybe 2 to 3. I would say like 4 to 5, maybe 6 centimeters apart, or maybe a little bit longer, and just lay them out in the hallway. Just like they do the lights, the motion lights, but hell of a lot cheaper because I heard those things are expensive. And try to use them that way. I mean, it's pretty much the same way, I guess, but you know, it's just something different that I thought that I can bring to the table and see if people will look at it a little different than just placing one cat ball. You can place a multitude of cat balls together and actually see how that will work.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know if you guys have them, but cat balls come in different colors. You guys got is that the orange and red one? Uh-oh. Hello?
And blue. And
Are we back?
blue?
We glitched for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's okay. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, our internet's been weird last week. It's been dropping a lot for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's what, red and blue?
Red, yellow, and blue.
Red, yellow, and blue.
That's what they go.
Okay.
Red, yeah. And I know you can get those in different colors. I've seen some green and red. I've seen some actually dark blue and I think maybe like white. I mean, there's so many different colors now. And what do you guys think about something like that? Do you think it will help, or do you think it's just like placing a cat ball anywhere else? Only difference is it's tied together.
Well, I mean, what would be interesting about doing that? I mean, if it's got like a trend of, say, they hear footsteps walking in a certain path, and they go by that string, and they each go off individually. I mean, that would be a good verification of that spirit walking through there.
Well, we know a guy who built something kind of like that. He took a light strip like you would put like on your ceiling, those LED light bars, and managed to make it to where is it motion or footstep based? Do you remember which one it was? The ones Bobby had.
Motion.
Yeah, they're like motion, and like if you just lay them on the floor or hang them up or whatever, and it's a big strand. We're talking like 10 feet of light.
Oh wow!
And if anything moves around it, it'll light up. And he built them, and fairly cheap from what he was saying too. It didn't cost him a whole lot to do, but I don't reckon he investigates too much anymore. But he does build things, tinkering and stuff, and he makes some pretty good stuff. And I need to get a hold of him because we were supposed to get one off of him.
Yeah.
And, if we can, I'll definitely be running that to kind of see if it works properly in this situation. I'm really interested about it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Virgil.
Yeah, Virgil, cows do go to heaven. We had this discussion last week, my brother.
Yes, sir. And the Bible states that there are animals in heaven.
There are. Yes, they are. Speaking, Bill, let me ask you a question, sir, because I see this a lot on YouTube now. Do you watch YouTube a lot?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen what are they called? Let me see if I can get this together. It's somebody who's bringing everybody that has a near-death experience. Do you watch shows like that?
I've never seen anything about that.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I get them all the time, man. I mean, from kids to, different people with different backgrounds, ethnicities, religions, everybody. And if they had a near-death experience, they will come on the show and share their near-death experience. And what's so crazy about, first of all, Bill, do you believe in near-death experiences?
Oh, absolutely. I've had a couple myself.
Okay. Now, the one thing...
just a few years ago, we had a demonic case that we were going to be doing. In the investigation prior to this, I got a voice saying, "I will kill you." And the day, the week that we supposed to have done this investigation, I go to bed. And I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, my left arm killing me, and I can't close my hand. And come to find out, after getting to the hospital, I have a widowmaker heart attack.
Oh,
my main artery was 100% blocked. And so that's one way the demonic will try to take you out. So, that was a very near-death experience right there.
Now, one thing, because I'm so fascinated about this, and I like listening and watching what people have to say about their near-death experience. And the one thing that I see that are very much similarities is the beginning steps of everything.
Right.
And you're passing. I mean, people are saying, well, I don't know if you saw this, that they saw darkness, then they saw the light, then they go through a tunnel, and it seems like everybody has that same thing. Now, the question I have for you, Bill, now, is that possible that because I always thought that everybody's experience with death is different, but apparently, I don't know because I've yet to experience it.
Yeah, I've heard different variations to where I've seen some videos where they talk about having a near-death experience, where some say that all they saw was a bright light, and they could see like figures or of people, but they couldn't make out who they were. But they felt a calmness, they felt love, they felt welcomed. And I've seen some where they said all they saw was darkness, and they felt heat, and they felt terrified. So it's kind of like you got one where it's kind of like a variation of hell, where you got another one where it's like a variation of heaven. And then I've seen some where they said they didn't experience nothing. I guess it could go both ways, where they could actually be experiencing this, but you also
Mm-hmm.
think too. I mean, it could be a false positive to where they hear it, then they automatically their brain makes them think they're experiencing that.
There you go. Yes, because that was my next question. Our brains are so powerful, and sometimes even when sometimes it makes you play. It can play tricks on you.
Yeah,
It makes you see
I
things
mean,
that you can't see and all that stuff.
yeah. Take for instance, like you are doing an experiment with you take 3 paranormal teams and you take them to this location and you make up
Hmm.
a story about what happened there. I guarantee you, one of those teams are going to go there and they're going to say that they experienced that. I guarantee it, because their brain has got that programmed in there of what that they were just told.
Right, right. Yeah, I can, man. But guys, if you guys have not checked that out, man, it's some unbelievable stories that these people are telling the world on
Mm-hmm.
what they went through from the time, and I can honestly say it was from 3 to maybe 5 minutes. I mean, it's not very long that these guys are where they're at
Right,
because uh, at some point there's so much technology, medical technology out there, they can bring you back.
right, yeah,
You
right.
know, so I mean, these it's unbelievable, dude. I mean, some of these, and what's so crazy about it, everybody seems so sincere in what they're saying.
Absolutely.
So I cannot say, oh well, man, I think this person is telling the fib or that person. Who am I to say that?
Mm-hmm.
But when somebody's actually breaking down and crying, and I kind of take that to heart a little bit.
Oh, absolutely,
You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? Even though, don't get me wrong, there are some out there that are looking for a payday and might pretend to say that they saw and felt this and that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see a logical reason why people would come on a show and say something like that. I mean, we believe it or not, guys, we all have our weirdos.
Oh yeah,
There
but
are weirdos everywhere.
thing.
But I am. Yeah, you gotta check that show out, bro. It's one of it's an amazing show. Hey, have you guys got any new team members? Have you guys expanded since then?
We really don't want to try to do that until after the holidays. We want to get through the holidays first before we try bringing in new people. Because right now, the way our schedule is, with everything coming up, we just don't have the time to break in anybody yet. Right now.
Yeah, it's
Mm,
just timing, really.
okay, okay. Um, your last investigation was a residential, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Did you guys post that on your social media by chance?
Yeah.
No, not the last one we did.
Oh no, the last
No.
one we didn't, but the one before then we did.
Yeah.
Okay, the one on September 7th.
No, that one we didn't because they didn't want anything
Yeah, they didn't
put
want
out
that
there.
out there.
But it was a pretty interesting investigation, though.
Yeah.
Okay, are you allowed to talk about it
Yeah, we can
without?
talk.
I
Yeah.
mean, without naming names and
Oh, yeah.
addresses and all that
A
stuff.
lot of it was just like EVPs that we got, but they were in some spirit box stuff.
Except for me and another investigator clearly hear
Yeah.
what the sounds like the door opening. We even caught it on the audio,
Mhm.
on the video, but that door never opened.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the DVR when he radioed in about it, and
Mhm.
I went through back the footage and looked. Nothing had moved. None of the doors had moved because we at least try to keep every door, cabinet, whatever on camera. Just
But
in
you
case
can hear the
something does happen.
rubber kind of like unclinging from the door. And
Yeah,
another weird thing is he doesn't want to call it paranormal, but I have no other explanation of what it could have been. I go in by myself to do a spirit box session.
Oh,
I turned the spirit box on, the speaker on, it starts scanning like it normally does.
Mm-hmm.
Sudden, a car horn comes through.
Yeah.
And then it starts scanning again. And then next thing you know, an ad from, I guess, YouTube came through somehow.
What had happened is the that we used somehow on its own connected to the client's phone. And was the video that she was watching was going through the speaker.
But it had never been paired.
No, and the way that the spirit box works is when you got a direct connection with the auxiliary cord, there's no way for it to pair. Mm-hmm. So it's strange. And again, I don't want to call it paranormal because, like,
but what else could
I don't know.
I mean,
it could have been a glitch or something.
Yeah,
there's no telling.
There's no way it can glitch when it ain't paired.
Like I said,
if it had been paired, then it could have glitched, but it hadn't been paired.
I mean, you might be right. I'm saying I don't understand how it could have happened. Maybe it was. It's just something I don't have enough definitive proof to be able to say either way. But it was weird. It was very weird.
Wow. Man, I love a good debate. I like to sit back and watch a good debate between two team members.
Be honest with you, I'm exhausted. I ain't got the time to do it with them tonight.
I mean, we can also hear clear as day somebody walking around there.
Yeah.
Clear as day.
I don't think we caught that on audio though.
Mm-mm.
But yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, it's really crazy, guys, how we present so much evidence, and it seems like your town probably don't believe in half the things that you guys have seen and heard. Would you agree with that?
We're in the Bible Belt, so like you get a lot of people who like Baptists. I grew up very Southern Baptist, and they believe all ghosts are demons. And I remember my great uncle preacher, and I remember when I was a kid at my great grandmother's house, seeing one of her daughters that had passed away at a young age, and like interacting with. I don't remember it, but like I remember being told that it happened. I was too young to, but like I pointed at the picture and be like, that's who it is and everything else. And I remember him telling me, he goes, "Oh, that wasn't, ghosts aren't real. That must have been something from the devil." And I'm like, well, two things there. One, why is a demon in your mama's house when that place is pretty much church? And two,
right.
Are you trying to say that, grandpa over here is a demon? Because, like, I mean, it's him.
But it's not unusual for a demon to be in church.
I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't getting the demon in my granny's house. That's not, it would
I mean, Jesus,
it's not.
I mean, Jesus even cast one out in the sanctuary. I mean.
Yeah. You had to meet Granny. That's all I'm saying.
All right. It's really hard, man, this day and age, guys. I can understand 1970, between 70 and 90, technology wasn't as good as it is now.
It wasn't. No.
And, and it seems like we're producing evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence. Mm-hmm. But every time we present evidence, we get slapped in the face with it. Now, we know what our judgment is with it because we're the ones that saw it. We're the one that reviewed the evidence. So we know what we saw. So, so logically, we ask for the next person's opinion. Not the next person's opinion that's a team member, but somebody's opinion who's not a team member, just to see what they're thinking and what they see, and most of them and what's so crazy about it, most of them the evidence is clear in your face, you hear it, you see it, but they will deny it to this day.
Oh yeah. There's people like I brought up YouTube earlier. There's people on YouTube. Their whole channels are just debunking paranormal videos, and to an extent, yeah, most of the stuff you do see out there has been faked, has been staged for views. But it's when you get the ones from teams like us or teams like you have, where it's like I don't really understand how they, with what limited stuff they have, no video editing, processing, like stuff like that, because I don't know about you, but we don't have Photoshop. I wouldn't even know how to use it.
Dude, hell, I can't even spell Photoshop. So if I can't spell it, like, why would I use it?
That must have been the wind, or that was somebody that was there. And I understand the skepticism because what we do is very strange.
But the thing is, we sit there with the client and do live reviews right there in front of them.
Yeah, that's our thing.
To debunk, if we can debunk.
Most of the time, actually, probably just go ahead and say all the time, our client is there.
Yeah.
They're watching us work. They're working with us. They know what they can see what we're doing. And I know me and him for sure. Every time something happens, we try to debunk it, especially if it's a piece of equipment.
And we have many times.
A lot of times we find out what it was. And that's what you should be doing as investigators. Is if you got something going on, instead of jumping up like, "Oh, it's a ghost," you should be like, "Hey, well, what could have caused that?"
And that's why I always tell people before we even get there, always go in as a skeptic. Yeah. Always go in to try to debunk what's being told to you, because if you can, 9 times out of 10, that's going to make the client feel a whole lot better.
Right. Well, guys, let me ask you guys a question. And I don't know if I brought this up last time we talked, but I have something telling me that I did. Does the condition of a residential of a house, do you think that can actually enhance a haunting? It would make the haunting more because the living condition of the way that ones live. Do you think that would hurt or helps somebody who needs help?
Well, that depends on what they're dealing with, because a lot of times, I mean, people, the way that if they live a certain lifestyle, they won't bring in like a human spirit. They'll bring in something demonic, because the demonic plays on a lot of what that person does in their life, whether it be addictions, whether it be anger, whether it be anxiety, whether it be stress, whether it be abuse or neglect, or someone who has been molested or raped or something like that. They prey on that, and the way they live their lifestyle, 9 times out of 10, they're going to bring something demonic in before they will anything like a human spirit.
Or what about cleanliness?
That can, yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
even unforgiveness. If someone has unforgiveness in their heart, that can bring it in.
Yeah, I mean, because I had. Well, I didn't want to bring it up.
And I've also seen on cases where someone has created what's called a soul tie.
I mean, because I always, to have a warm house. What is to have a warm house? You got to have sunlight. Without sunlight and fresh air, it just bottles everything up. I mean, and to me, all that hell, I don't even know what to call it. It's not negative energy, but it's not positive energy. Let's just say it's just energy.
Right.
Energy sometimes need to release itself, like let's just say if you got a lot, your tires overinflated, and you want to hit that thing, and every now and then a house needs that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So why not open up those windows, man? Go get some bleach and tidy up. Cleanliness. Yeah, for some reason, my grandma always told me cleanliness is close to godliness.
Absolutely.
I don't know I don't know, but maybe that's why I use bleach as much as I do. I don't know, but it's really hard, and you don't want to take anybody out of their element, out of their comfort zone for what we need to do. But if it needs to be done, then they need to do it.
Absolutely. And that's why I tell people, I said, I can come in here, I can cleanse, I can bless, I can do the minor rite exorcism. But if you're not willing to make that change of your lifestyle and do what you need to do, it's just, nothing I do is going to work.
Exactly.
Because you're constantly bringing it back in.
Exactly. But see, the thing about people is, and paranormal investigators, sometimes we need to just simplify things and tell people what they need to hear.
Yep.
Not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear.
Yeah, I just saw something walk by.
Did you see that?
I wasn't looking. I missed it. What?
Something walked by his window right there.
Off road.
Yeah.
And it caught me because I seen it on the camera and I looked, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. It walked from left to right, didn't it?
Yeah. I saw it.
Wow, we got to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking.
Hey, that's signs of being a good investigator.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Joe, you missed that? How'd you miss that, bro?
Screen. I was just listening.
And I stopped. Bill stopped. I looked back.
I mean, it just comes natural. I mean, you just look at the thing.
It didn't look like it was something too tall. I mean, it was something small.
Yeah, but they walk left to right.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, it's weird, man. If people, and I'm not saying that you have to go out and live a certain lifestyle, and certain people live the simple lifestyle. I mean, they try to simplify their life the best thing they can. And you know what? And these are the people that
Did it again
Yeah, I saw it that time.
from right to left.
the
What is reflecting there?
those are my lights.
No,
From
no,
my-
so in the window, if you look on your screen, there's like it looks like a glass panel, like a door. Is that what that is?
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
can see this room is actually the office, and we got those sliding doors that slide open instead of the ones that open.
I mean, it could be
Oh.
somebody.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, if people try to simplify their life, I think things would be much better for them.
Absolutely.
You know, but
He's on these. We'll get him.
yeah, I'm looking right there now. I mean, my eyes is fixed right on that window. But yeah, man, it's certain cases don't have to be cases. You know, if you just simplify your life, you know, and do things right.
Man, light went off. It looks like. Hold on.
Hold on for a minute.
He said, "Let me go look at this."
Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Did somebody walk by the first time? I don't know. You know. But yeah, guys. I mean, because one thing I do know as a paranormal investigator, and I'm pretty sure you guys talked about this. No one case, no two cases are the same. Everything's different. You're gonna come across all
absolutely.
kind of different weird stuff. I mean, but dude, I was sitting in a cemetery one night, and I'm gonna tell you guys this story because it was weird. I set up a camera in the southeast corner of the cemetery, and I turned it so where it can view the whole cemetery from a hill standpoint of view.
Right.
And I got home and I listened to and I was watching the video, and it looked like you said, Bill. It looked like a car light was going off, going on, going off, going on. And I'm like, what the hell? Because before then, a car did zoom around, but the light was fixating. I mean, it was pulsing. Not only if it was pulsing, it was moving. So at the 1 minute it was here, the next minute it was there, and looked like a little baby orb, the size of a softball, no, a baseball. But it was moving, and you actually saw it move.
Wow.
Bam, 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 and it was very interesting. and at the top, it looked like a red orb was going from one side of the camera to the right side of the camera. The orb stopped because it was pulsating. Then it just took off, and I'm like, "What
Hmm.
the hell is going on, dude?" So I took my findings and I presented them to somebody, and I like, I need your expertise on this. Tell me what you think. The first thing that they
Right.
saw, the first thing that they said was a car. And okay, and and Bill, Joe, and I'm kid you not, where this thing was set up, the road was way off to the left. And why would you have a one headlight car pulsating all over the place?
Right.
Cars don't dance like that. And it wasn't at a high level; it was right there at camera level. The like I say, the road was to the left, and the big red orb was right. It seemed like they wanted to be seen because the top red orb was floating across. It stopped. It seemed like it might have pointed a finger at me and just took off. And when it took off, the white lights stopped pulsating and just disappeared. Now, what's so crazy about it, guys, is maybe 2 to 3 minutes later, boom, bright, pulsating again. It seemed like somebody was out there playing hide and seek, maybe. I don't know. But, dude, that evidence was most I, I don't know what it was, man, and I can't say if it was paranormal or not. I mark it unknown because at this point it's unknown. I can't say if it was
Right.
one or the other.
Yeah, we've done that many times. I mean, we
Yeah.
said something we're not sure about. We just put it out there. We're not calling this paranormal. You can make your own judgment calls on what you think it may be, but we're not calling it paranormal because we don't know. We don't have enough evidence to sustain that.
Yeah, can't say either way.
And and it's really crazy that there are things out there, man, that we can't. You would think that we would have enough technology in 2024 to understand every little thing that comes ahead of us that is presented to us. We can honestly say, "Hey, okay, this is this, that is that," But dude,
Well,
it's
I mean, perfect example, a case we did last month. We caught this in a mirror, some kind of light anomaly. But the thing is, where we called it at, we had another camera facing in that direction, and it did not pick it up. And
mhm.
and to me, I mean, you see it come in and out a few times, probably for at least 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But we don't know if it was inside the mirror itself or if it was a reflection. So I can't really call it paranormal because I don't. Because I mean, no, nothing came in through the door that we had a camera facing. There was nothing outside causing it.
Mhm.
But again, I mean, I don't know. Joe said it looked like someone was putting on a jacket. So
Yeah, it kind of looks like like how you put your sleeve out like that when you put it on.
Right.
Kind of what it looked like at first, and it just kind of looked like somebody walking back and forth. But at the time, everyone's accounted for, and we're kind of off the path a little bit, so there's no one, shouldn't be anyone outside.
no, we're on break.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it could have been. It didn't show up where we had the other camera pointed at, and we had two cameras pointed in that direction of the mirror, and only one of them picked it up.
Oh.
So I don't really know what we were seeing. I mean, just strange, really.
But the weird thing too is that same area. A few minutes before we went on break, I see a shadow go across the ceiling above my head, but unfortunately, the camera didn't pick it up either.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that is crazy. Hey guys, what do you guys And I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful to any other paranormal team on the place of the planet. And to me, there are good paranormal investigators, there are bad paranormal investigators. What do you guys tell people, paranormal investigators, that go in to locations that screw up stuff on purpose and just not actually want to help the team? I mean, the residents or the location, but it seemed like they want to uh, stir more things up than what they should be doing the opposite.
Well, the thing is, people think they're taunting it. They think that they're provoking it. You're not doing either one. You're inviting it. You go in someplace and you say, "Okay, let me see how tough you are. Won't you push me? Won't you scratch me? Won't you throw something at me?" Or that's not taunting it. That's not provoking it. You're inviting that spirit or demon entity, whichever it may be, to do these things to you. And it may not do it right then and there, but that's how it leads to attachments. It may, because time doesn't matter to them. I mean, they can stay dormant 10, 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, 10 years. Then all of a sudden you start having these things that you asked it to do that you done forgot about, and you're wondering why you're experiencing it.
Yeah, because it seems like, and like Dan said, respect is everything.
The thing is,
But
I
it,
mean, why do you want to go into a place, for one, not knowing who that spirit is, what happened to that spirit? They could have had a bad life. They could have took their own life. They could have been murdered. And here you are going there disrespecting them. It was bad enough when they were alive. Now you want to make it worse when why in death?
hmm you're right. And what's so really, and there are teams out there today, guys, that are, they're not paranormal teams. They are at what do we call them? It's a new name for them, where they purposely go in a location and purposely, like you say, Bill, entice, disrupt. Instead of helping, they cause more damage than
Yeah,
some. Then people got to go in and clean up everything
absolutely.
that they've done.
Absolutely.
And it's not fair to the residents. It's not fair to the people that, the individuals, they got to go in and clean up after this mess that these people are making.
Lord knows we've
Uh,
done it many times.
but you know what? It doesn't stop with that one residence, because after they're done with what they're done, they're moving on to their next victim.
Right, exactly.
It seemed like, and what's so crazy about it, this this stuff is actually on YouTube. People are actually posting all this on YouTube now, where it's, and to me, I just don't think that is not cool at all, because you can really get somebody freaking hurt
Absolutely.
over something.
Absolutely.
And it's just, I wish people would stop. I don't know what the hell Virgil's talking about. Hold on. Are you able to see this?
When I stayed in New York City, I had the misfortune of staying at the Jane Hotel in Greenwich Village. Apart from the bed bugs, it was a nice room, but the heat was unbearable. I had to open a window. I wasn't to know there was a giant flying cicada sleeping under my bed. Anywho, as I slipped into the arms of Morpheus, this beast gripped me and flew out of the bedroom window with me. Unfortunately, the giant critter couldn't support my 40 stone weight, and I fell onto the pavement. Thank the Lord I was.
Uh, I guess he stopped that. That's Virgil. Yeah, a flying cicada. What is it? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. But to me, it seems like if people are out there purposely trying to hurt other people, Bill, they got to have a little twisted mind, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, it sounds like they need to see a counselor.
No, they need a butt whooping, pull off that belt and whoop their butts.
That too.
You know what I'm saying?
They
It's
definitely don't have no business doing. They actually have no business whatsoever being in this field.
no whatsoever. But see, the field is so open. I mean, it's so open, and believe it or not, there are paranormal investigators, whether they're bad, good. Can we really stop them?
Well, see, that's why I tell people before they have a team come out, do your research on that team. Find out what they're about, how they operate. Talk to, if you can, try to find someone who's used them before and get their thoughts on them.
Now,
Because
would
I
you
mean,
say
yeah, because
is it?
yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, because people need to know and be aware of who they have coming into their homes. If they don't have, I mean, a good record, or if they don't have very many cases under their belts, then I would try to find someone who has a little bit more experience and
Right. Right.
who is reputable, who has a good standing with the community and clients, instead of just picking up the phone and calling the first team you see. I mean,
Hmm.
research them, find out what they're
Now,
about.
is it possible that somebody or a team of elder paranormal investigators can become? And I know because once you bring politics into the paranormal, it's going to go south.
Oh yeah,
Where we can introduce bylaws where uh, teams can do this, teams can do that. We can't do this, we can't do that. Is that possible that that can happen one day?
I would certainly hope so. I mean, 'cause Lord knows we need it.
You know, I think that would be cool. But the thing is, who would have that type of? Uh, First of all, you need money to do it.
Oh yeah,
Second thing, you need understanding of the law to do it, and third, you gotta have the patience to do it.
mm-hmm.
Well, hey, I got one out of three. But yeah, it's just one of those things, man. I think there should be rules and regulations to this, just like anything else that's out there.
I mean, if nothing else, have somebody start a network with teams that people can trust. That way, if they got put their background on there, how long they've been investigating for, some of the experience they may have, their success rate on and everything, and that way they would go on there and say, okay, this is reputable. Did this sound like a good
Hmm.
team? Do they have experience with doing cleansings and blessings? What's the
Yes,
success rate on that? And I mean,
and it should be stars, and the only way you can get stars if your clients
exactly.
go on there and do it. I mean, it's not something that the team can do. Once the investigation is done, you satisfied. Let the client do it, and I think that would be like that.
Yeah. Well,
Just
yeah.
because just because I have a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of followers,
That don't mean
uh,
nothing.
that doesn't mean anything.
No, I mean, how they could go in there, do like a little survey. How would you rate this team? How would you rate their experience? How would you rate them to solving your issue?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, man. I think that would be awesome if we can somehow, some way, able to accomplish that.
Mhm.
But as good as that is, there's always a bad part of it. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
and what's so crazy about it? When you bring something like that to the table, people are going to start wanting. It at that point you actually part of a organization.
Hmm.
But we're already part of an organization.
Well, I mean, the thing is, people want to scream their para unity. Well, act like it.
Yeah.
I
Keep
mean,
these knuckleheads out of
where's your
out of
proof?
there.
Where's the work backing this up that you support this? I mean, it's like, I mean, I hate to bring in a Bible quote, but like Saint James said, Faith without works is dead. You want to scream prayer
Mm.
unity? Where's your work supporting it?
Right. Speaking of Bibles, what what verse of the Bible do you read?
Actually, I got every every type of Bible there is. I got King James, I got the New King James, I got the NLB, NIV, I've got the Hebrew Bible, I got the American Standard Bible, I got the New Reserve Catholic Bible. I always, and the reason I do that is because like I tell people, I mean, three people can read the same scripture and come out with three different meanings.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like to do, I like to, if I'm reading one, I want to cross-reference that with the other one to see if I'm getting the same message or if I'm getting a different message. So I kind of use them all. But my go-to would probably be this one right here, which is my NRSV, the newly revised Standard Version Catholic Edition Bible.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The big topic today is the Book of Enoch that they just discovered.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that version of the Bible?
Well, the Book of Enoch is not very accurate. I mean, because they want to talk about the watcher angels marrying and impregnating human women, but that's a misconception. What it's actually talking about, which I know where they're getting that from, Genesis 6. But if they read it correctly, it says the Nephilim were on the earth at that time and after the sons of man took and bore children with women. But what it's talking about, it's not talking about the angels, because if other places in the Bible, we're all the sons of God. And that's what it says, the sons of God took women and bore children to them. What it's talking about the bloodline from Seth mixing with the bloodline from Cain, his brother. That's not what caused the Nephilim, because the Bible said in Genesis 6 that the Nephilim were already on the earth before and afterwards. Mm-hmm. So that has nothing to do with it. And plus, too, I mean, angels are not created with sexual organs. So it's impossible for an angel to have relations with a human. Just like when people say, well, if that's the case, then how would you explain a succubus and an incubus? Which is a sexual demon that preys. An incubus is a sexual demon that preys on women sexually, and a succubus is a sexual demon that preys on men sexually. Well, they're not having intercourse with them. Intercourse never happens. What they do is manipulate the muscles to make you feel like you're experiencing that intercourse. As bad as I hate to say it, it's like having a wet dream.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Now, dude, I would love to get you and Bill Carson on the same podcast. I think that would be one hell of a podcast, dude. Because there is so much to be learned about certain things that are in the Bible, mm-hmm. Man. Now, do you believe? Okay, when we were growing up, Bill, you know, high schools and science. I mean, high schools and middle schools, they taught mythology. Mm-hmm. Mythology is something that it's a myth, but we research it. We try to make sure. But now, this day and age, high schools, middle schools, or even elementaries aren't teaching that anymore. Why do you think that is?
Well, the thing is, they're not teaching theology either. And theology is a big, big thing that everyone should know about. Because when you have a theological conversation, that shows that you're just not making stuff up. I mean, it shows that you've actually done your research. You studied mm-hmm. that topic. So if you can't have a theological conversation with somebody and not be able to back up your defense, it's pointless.
Interesting. Now, would you say that science has taken over religion?
To a point, I would say it does, but not completely because I mean there are some scientific proof out there that helps clarify what the Bible teaches.
Now, do you think what science? Uh,
Catholic bill, but I wouldn't trust a priest with a baseball cap. Well,
huh?
if you're a Catholic, then you should know what this is right here.
Oh,
Do you
now,
know? Do you know what this is?
Virgil, do you know what that is?
If you knew what this is, you'd know why I'm wearing it.
Oh, well. Now, is it possible that uh, that science will completely eradicate the Holy Bible?
I won't think it would completely eradicate it, but I think it to a certain point, depending on who the scientists are, they may help support it more instead of trying to debunk it.
Right, right. So, why do you think that scientific? I mean, why do you think the scientific community is coming after religion more than anything else?
I think a lot of it has to do with people's belief in the Big Bang theory that we all come from an explosion.
Hmm.
But you got to ask yourself, who caused that explosion? Where did that explosion come from? Because I mean, people want to try to put God in time and space, but I mean, the very first lines of the Bible of Genesis completely does away with that. In the beginning, time, God created the earth, matter, and all the heavens, space. God is out time, space, and matter. So you can't try to put God in that equation when he's outside of it.
Hmm. Okay. Now, is it possible that um, well, let's put it like this. Now, a lot of people have debunked that Adam and Eve did not exist. A lot of people say that there's no way Eve can produce 2 billion people.
Oh my goodness!
What do you think about that? I mean,
Wow.
believe it or not, man, I watch. I mean, there is a lot going on in the world, and I sit back and I watch all this and I listen, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, what the hell is this?
Yes. Adam and Eve are our first parents. Yes, but they didn't. She didn't have 2 billion children. I mean, she had, of course, Cain and Abel. Of course, Cain slayed Abel. God sent him out of Eden to Nam, where he said he knew his sister. Which there's a debate that where it says that Cain knew his wife. There's a debate on whether his wife was actually his sister,
Hmm.
because it said afterwards that Adam and Eve still had many children afterwards because they had Seth, of course, and that doesn't say exactly how many more children.
Now,
But with, but,
is
but,
it possible? Go ahead.
but with Cain knowing his wife and going to Nam, I mean that's where the people of Nam came from. I mean, it just went from there. I mean, Eve didn't have all the children.
Now, to me, and I'm going to be honest with you. When all this was going on, I really think that there are others out in the world already.
Oh
When
yeah, absolutely.
and that's how things eventually got started.
Yeah, I mean,
You
even after
know.
the flood, I mean, all that was left after the flood, of course, was Noah and his family. Where the
Hmm.
rest of the people come from, they multiplied.
Hmm.
So I mean,
It man,
it is.
there is it's a lot going on in this world. There is a lot of people that Oh my God, dude! Trust me, if you have not been watching YouTube, there is a lot going on,
Oh yeah,
and and it's all educational.
it is. It really is.
You can learn so much. Just think, man, if I had YouTube back when I was growing up in the
Oh
late
wow.
'70s and '80s, dude,
Mm-hmm.
hell, I'd be a genius by now.
Absolutely.
And
That's
it's crazy.
and it definitely would have made homework more easier.
Oh, well, right? That's something that they don't have today. It's homework. Uh, but you know what, Bill? I was at the Dollar Tree today, and I was getting flowers to go out to my wife's grave. It's fall here, and the leaves are falling off the trees. October is coming. One of her favorite times of the year, my favorite times of the year. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna go swap out all those flowers out there and put fall flowers out there.
Right.
But while I was there, and this voice hit me, and I'm looking everywhere. But you know what? I forgot to look was down,
Mm.
and it was this little kid. He couldn't have been no more than 3, maybe 4 years old, and there was a teacher's aide that was picking up stuff for the teacher at the store.
Right.
She had this big old bag, and the mother was right there next to the daughter, and the little girl was just talking, and she was asking so many questions. I mean, it seemed like Bill, one question after another question after another question and after another question. And I just sit there and I'm like, oh my God, man. The life of a child, the mind of a child is unbelievable because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
are so curious
Mm.
about the smallest thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, man, life as a child is so precious, and your mind is so open, it's so free, and I mean, you just want to take all that knowledge and believe me, they're all taking it in, whether you believe it or not. A
Hmm.
child at that age can tell you something from word to word that you said 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
absolutely. I hear everything.
They hear everything. And sometimes you just have to sit and think for a moment. When a kid is in one's mom's belly and they're learning all this, and mom is filling her daughter or son up with so much knowledge and so much blessings, man, you can't help but wonder, why does that stop at some point in your
Oh,
life?
yeah.
Your curiosity stops to exist. And the one thing that people should always do is, even some people think it's wrong, is ask why. People stop asking why.
Hmm.
And why do you think that is?
That's a good question. Because, like I tell people, I mean, if you don't know something, ask.
Ask,
If you don't understand it, ask.
ask.
Because you're never going to learn. You're never going to know if you don't ask.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we learn.
Yeah, but should it a 3-year-old kid that constantly asks, that wants to generate so much knowledge,
Hmm. I know
but
my grandkids do.
wants to generate so much knowledge is, why is it that at some point adults stop asking the question? Is it because that we're adults and we can't, and in our mind we feel like we shouldn't be asking questions?
I think a lot
Or
of it has to do with they adults. When it comes to adults, they want to sound smarter than what they actually are. They want to make themselves seem more intelligent than what they are. But it's just like I tell people, if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'll do my best to find the answer. But I'm not going to make something to make myself look intelligent or smart and give you the wrong information. But I think that's the issue with those today. I mean, a lot of them, they'd rather try to make up something and try to give the right answer by not knowing really what they're talking about.
Yeah, boy, the mind of a child is amazing. Oh my God.
Thank you, Virgil. It means a lot.
Yeah, the mind of a child is amazing. Ah, man. If you could do it over, would you?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that show they used to have on TV, The Darndest Thing Kids Say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or kids say the darndest things, whatever it was.
Yeah. If
Today,
you had that opportunity, would you do it over again?
Oh, in a way, I like to say yes, because I like to try to correct some mistakes I made, and another no, because if I did, then I wouldn't be where I am now.
Now, is it possible that if you was to do it again, and there's no way the mistakes that you made is mistakes that you made, and you bound to repeat those mistakes, would you still say yes?
Probably, but again, I mean, they say you learn from your mistakes or you're doomed to repeat your mistakes. But there's some mistakes I wouldn't mind repeating again because, I mean, it led me on the path to where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
There's other mistakes that I did in the past to where I was never really able to reconcile from them.
Okay. Now, I know a lot of people will try to, want to go back and try to stop certain things from happening because if you go back and you're a child and whatever, uh, there's no guarantee that. I mean, the mistakes might happen, but it's no guarantee that you might. What is the word I'm looking for?
Cause
You
the
might.
butterfly effect.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think I would love. I'll be honest with you. I would like to go back and see myself, but I wouldn't want to go back and do it all over again.
Right.
Because
kind of like the Scrooge deal where you go takes you back in your past life to see the things that you did and
yeah, man.
And then into the future, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to see the future.
Well, the one thing I do know about the future, Bill, it's not as dark as people think.
Right. But it's not meant for us to know the future. I mean, that's why the Bible speaks about divination. That's the whole thing with Samuel and Saul. I mean, that was necromancy and divination. It's not meant for us to know the future. So that's why the Bible is strictly against that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, a lot of people don't want to know. Yes, Virgil, you can ask the question. Please feel free to ask the question, my brother. What's on your mind? Well, let's see if he's going to ask a question or not. So, so you guys are going to take it. This is from what month to what month is your busiest time of the year for you guys?
It's hard to say because sometimes we're busy year round without any breaks hardly.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it seems to be our most busiest times is probably spring and summer.
Spring and summer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And usually around fall, I mean, we get a few there, but it usually starts slacking down around wintertime.
Oh, wow. Yeah, boy, I heard about them Kentucky winters.
Mhm.
Definitely don't want to be caught up in a snowstorm.
Oh, absolutely not.
You
We went
know.
and did one. Yes, several years ago, we went in to do a case. We go in. I mean, great weather. Go in, do our first round, come back out, and there's like 3 feet of snow outside. I'm like, what the crap happened here?
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, are you guys planning on making any long distance trips, anything? Have you guys set your sight on any major locations outside of Kentucky that you
Oh, we,
guys are planning to hit up?
uh, we do travel quite a bit. I mean, there's been times we drove 4.5, 5 hours to a location to help somebody. But what I'd like to do, what we're going to try to do, hopefully within the probably the next year or two, we're going to try to get the funds up to possibly take a road trip to one of these historical places that, I mean, because we don't really do historical places at all, but we'll probably take about checking out a couple of historical places, like maybe the Valiska Axe Murder House or um, Octagon Hall Museum or something like that, or maybe try to get over to Virginia to check out the prison over there. But
Okay.
it's kind of hard because I mean our schedule stays so busy with uh, residential cases and businesses. We don't really have a lot of free time to do anything historical.
Oh wow. Hey Bill, I'm gonna send you a picture, and I
Okay.
want you to tell me what you think. What you think it is. Uh, it's one of these things where we caught when we're doing when we're sending pictures, taking pictures, and we just happened to catch this one 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yes, it is, Dan. It's a very interesting place. All right, let's see. Wow, it's pretty blurry. Was the camera moving?
Mm-mm. Only thing we caught was that dark shadow, that figure
Yeah,
right there.
yeah. That's very interesting. I mean, I'm not sure if it's pareidolia or if I'm actually seeing maybe eyes and a nose and a mouth.
Yeah. What really caught me about this picture is it looked like it has a dress on
Yeah,
because
yeah.
at the bottom you can actually see where it cuts. Then there's you can see through it. Then
Hmm.
the rest of it is dark, and there's one leg, two legs. And I can't tell you anything about the neck because the neck is elongated.
Well, right next to the shadow, though, I mean, you got like a kind of like a white silhouette. It kind of like it's got a wearing a hood too.
So
That's very interesting.
you might want to venture out and see what share that and get an opinion on some of your people and see what they think that is
Yeah, absolutely.
because it's something that I when I saw it hell
But it's weird. I
I
mean, if
couldn't
the
tell you what
camera
it
wasn't,
is.
yeah, I mean, if the camera never moves, something literally had to be going in front of it to cause
Mm-hmm.
that blur.
Yeah,
So,
because this was in a bedroom. No, this was in the kitchen, I believe so. Because I think that's the refrigerator right there. That white thing. I think that's the refrigerator. There's the cabinets. Yeah, I think that's in the kitchen.
Yeah,
So
and I think is it.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I thought that was the vent, but yeah, yeah, I can see the cabinets. Yeah, in the refrigerator.
But that right there was really interesting. One of the many photos that we take,
Hmm.
and we try to explain. I mean, sometimes you put things out on Facebook and you ask for people opinions, but the thing about people's opinions is sometimes they can be a little harsh.
Right. Absolutely.
And, and that's why I put things out, but then I put certain things out, but I don't put out everything that we catch. You
Right.
know, for that fact, because we are dealing, like you say, this is in somebody's house.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the person, let's say for an example, I took a video of something that was in your house and it got posted, and the house owner might not like the reaction of what other people might say. So
Right. Right.
I had to put that back. I had to stop doing that. But you know what? It's just one of those things, man. Well, Virgil, what are you talking about? I was 5 years ago, constantly with me.
Oh
Uh,
wow, I'm so sorry.
mm,
I can't really say if she's still with you, Virgil. Unfortunately, I don't have that type of ability to say that. Uh, but I can say that I'm sure she probably checks in with you from time to time to let you know that she's still around.
mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
mean, I lost my wife. It'll be 2 years in February, and
Oh,
but I think she still comes around from time to time and checks on me
yeah.
because I
You know,
mean the thing is you got to remember. I mean, people want to say when people die they automatically go to heaven. Well, heaven's not forced upon us; it's an option. It's a choice that we can whether we can choose to accept or choose to reject. But I've also been told by certain priests as well that it is possible for a spirit to be in heaven and on earth at the same time. So,
interesting. Maybe the one thing that is I'm drawn to you, Bill, is because my wife died away 2 years ago,
oh wow,
but
I didn't know
in
that.
March, a month after yours passed away,
Wow.
uh, and dude, and people ask me. I mean, it's been 2 years,
Hmm.
and people ask me, am I still grieving?
Oh
You
yeah,
know, dude? If you've been married to somebody for 34 years, it's not to me. You're gonna take that grieving to the grave with you because you're never gonna
absolutely,
stop.
absolutely. It's just like I tell people, I've lost my brother, I've lost my parents, but losing your spouse is a whole different kind of hurt.
That's a whole different ball game right there.
I mean, people say that it gets easier with time. No, it don't. I
Never.
mean, there's still days that I break down. There's still nights that I break down. There's still times where I get thoughts I know I shouldn't be having. So I pray about it, but it doesn't get easier.
It,
It,
it yeah.
it just doesn't. I'm sorry. I mean, and the people want, well, have you tried going to counseling? No. I mean, because there's nothing they can tell me that I don't already know.
Yeah, grieving. There's nothing a counselor can do with grieving. It's
No.
just a part of our structure as being humans. That's
Mhm.
something that we were enhanced. I mean, something that we were given. It's just like it's just like your son's winning a football game. The last minute he caught the touchdown, you're celebrating, you're happy. There's
Right.
no difference than that.
Mm-mm.
The only difference is all that emotions that you have. Just like watching your son play football, it's gonna amplify. It's gonna feel the same way, but it's just gonna be overwhelming sadness. With that,
Exactly.
you got joy. With losing a loved one and your spouse is sadness.
It is.
And I've had people, well, you need to get out, you need to do this. I do get out.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, people tell me. I mean, I've had people tell me, well, maybe you need to move from there since that's where y'all live. Maybe you should get you a different apartment or a different house. Why? I mean, I'm still going to be alone. I'm still going to be by myself. I'm still going to be thinking about her and grieving her and missing her. So, what's the point?
Ain't nothing gonna change.
No,
You
nothing.
know, I'm dude. I live in a small town, and I can honestly tell you, I've been on every road
Hmm.
that we've been. If we haven't not drove that road together, something's wrong. Because every road in Cedar Park, we drove on that road
Same,
together.
same.
And every time I go down that road, I think about it.
Hmm.
Either she said something crazy or she didn't. We're driving and we seen something crazy. There's always a memory of no
Absolutely,
matter where we go, there's a memory there. Every time I pass a house we used to live in, there's a memory there.
absolutely.
It's grieving is not going to stop.
No,
To me, only thing I can do is minimize it to a. I'm not even going to say a bare minimum. I'm just going to say to a minimum because
right.
I don't even think I can minimize it to a bare minimum. And people ask me, well, why you don't start dating again?
Oh man, I've been asked that myself.
And this is the thing, Bill, because it's not fair.
No, it's like I
It,
tell people, there's no way, no physically possible way that I could ever find myself someone else. Because for one, we were married for 30 years. I
mm-hmm,
would feel like I'm cheating on her.
mm-hmm,
I would feel like I'm stepping out on her. There's no
mm-hmm.
way I could physically be with somebody else after being married for 30 years. I mean, come on, I mean, let's be honest. The
Right.
dating scene has changed in 30 years.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't know where to begin. I wouldn't know where to start. But I just can't see myself with anybody else. I can't.
No, I'm the same way, man. People ask me all the time. My future daughter-in-law asked me. Well, she said she was talking to my son, and she was like, "Well, maybe Dad should start seeing some." You know what? I'm good. I'm content.
Yeah,
I'm
and there's no
happy.
way I could bring another woman in here with my wife's pictures all throughout the house and everything. And I mean,
And I've yet to even get rid. I can't even see myself getting rid of her personal belongings.
no, no.
I my aunt said, if I ever come over to your house, boy, I'm gonna throw all that stuff away.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
and the next thing, the next week we'll be planning your funeral.
yeah, but I don't know, man. Dude, if you've never, I don't wish death on no one, but I know it's
Mm-mm.
gonna happen to every family in this world. It's gonna happen. It's unevitable.
Yeah,
It's just something that we all gonna have to go through. I didn't think I was gonna go through it at this point in my life.
yeah, me either.
I always thought, hey, man, 80, 70, 80, 90 years,
Yeah,
grandkids
like
beside
we're
us.
growing together, not grow old
Yeah,
yourself.
yep. Reach over and pull up by her granny underwear and like, oh, you got granny underwear on, and make funny jokes like that.
You needed
But
it.
and make jokes like that, man. Go for long walks and drives and just
Yeah,
lose ourselves out there and
go
just
visit the grandkids together, and
yeah, feed them up. Hey, amp them up with chocolate candies and take them right back home.
yep, there you go.
But now, man, I don't know, Bill. I can't do it.
No, I
You
can't
know,
either.
and I still got my ring on. And, people ask me, "Are you married?" I like. and I'm not gonna lie to him. I tell him, yeah,
Yeah,
she's gone,
absolutely,
but I'm still am. Yeah.
absolutely.
And she, and I think I've told you this story before, man. I was digging through the box, and a big cold blast of wind. And trust me, Bill, I did not have the air conditioning on. I did not have ceiling fan on. But when I looked down and saw that ring, a big blast of cold air zipped by me, and when I looked at it, and I like, oh shit, I better put this ring on. And I have not took it off since. It's been on me ever since. And yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, man. It's grieving is something else.
It is. I mean, it's, like I said, people say it gets easier with time. It don't get easier. You just learn to handle it better.
Yeah, you learn how to maintain it.
Yeah.
And like I say, anything pairs maintaining because you can't do the bare minimum. You just got to learn how to maintain it because every thought, every little thing that you see that you do that's in your house, it's going to remind you of her. You can close
Yep.
your eyes in the kitchen and just visualize her right there cooking dinner,
Or the place
or
where they used to sit all the time. And
yeah, or pictures and things. Uh, the way, believe it or not, Bill, my wife was a bed hogger.
oh yeah. Every time I'd have to go, baby, can you scoot over so I can get in bed?
Right? She was a bed hogger. Now, the thing about it, we'll have a king. She'll sleep dead middle, and I'll be bunched up like this. And
Hmm.
the side of her, she's got like maybe 2 feet of bed. And I like scoot over so I'm up against the wall while she's in the middle and there's nothing on the other side of her. And
Well,
I
my wife, I mean, she slept diagonal, corner to corner.
oh man.
so, I, so after I get done with work in the office, I come to bed. Baby, can you kind of move over and straighten up so I can get in the bed?
Straighten up a little bit. Yeah, and I still sleep against the wall today because I've done it for so long. My
Hmm.
body doesn't know how to react to anything else but having my back against the wall.
Right.
Like you say, if you do something for 30 something years, you get set in that routine.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's why my to this day my bed is against the wall. I sleep with my back against the wall. Every now and then I'll lay on my stomach, but I always leave that middle space just for her.
Right.
So if she ever wants to come and lay down next to me, she can have her spot.
Absolutely.
She can have her spot. All right, Bill, man, tell the world how to get a hold of Hopkins County Paranormal Society.
All right. You can reach us on Facebook under Hopkins County Paranormal Society. And you can also reach us through email at hcps, all lowercase, 1823 at Gmail.
Hmm.
You can also reach us via cell phone 270-399-9256.
Yes, sir. Have you guys? Quick question: have you guys got into any other social media? Uh,
Well, we got a YouTube account, but
okay,
it's been a while since I posted anything on there, so it's not
it's
really up
been
to
a
date.
while, so it's mostly Facebook then.
Yes, Facebook, email, and phone.
Okay, okay, cool. Well, you know what, Bill, man, it has been an honor talking to you guys, man. Even though Joe left me,
Yeah, he had a long night.
I can imagine. But dude, hey, let's keep in touch, bro.
Absolutely, brother.
If you need someone just to talk to, hey, just give me a call, man.
You do the same. You do the
I'm
same.
there.
Always here for
Uh,
you.
and for some reason, I don't know why I'm drawn to you, but I am. Maybe because we have so much in common. With our wives passing away the
Hmm.
same year, but
Hey,
within a month's difference.
hey, who's to say that our wives didn't lead us to one of each other?
Yeah, who's to say? Maybe they up there drinking milk and cookies,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
hanging out and doing whatever. But
Hmm.
and I'll be honest right quick. and I think I told you guys this the first time, you guys. Man, I was petrifying. I mean, I was literally scared to know what's going to happen to me after I pass away. How how would that happen? What would happen to me when I pass away? Now I know that somebody's waiting for me when I get there.
Absolutely.
Somebody can hold my hand and say, "Hey, Terry, it's time to go."
100%.
And when she comes for me, it'll be the happiest day of my life.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just like a lot of people don't know, but I still send my wife text messages. I still message her on Facebook. I still post on her Facebook page. That's my way of still communicating with her. It's my way of still having that one-on-one with her.
there you go.
So,
Ain't nothing wrong with
so
that at all.
I mean, just because
Now,
I'm not physically able to see her and talk to her, I can still have that communication with her. So, that helps me a lot with if I'm feeling down and I feel like I need to talk to her like I used to, I would just
mhm.
message her, text her, or whatever. And I know she's not going to text back, but I still know she's able to read it and see it.
Well, Bill, never say never, man. That she might be able to text when if she texts you back. How would you feel about that?
Oh, well, for one, I have to make sure it's not somebody trying to play a prank on me.
Right?
That someone didn't hack her Facebook account and
Mm-hmm.
doing it. But I think if I was ever get a message back from her, and I would probably ask a question, I know that she would know, and if she was
Right.
able to answer it, then I would know.
There you go. Well, hey, I wish you guys nothing but success, man, on what
You
you
too.
guys are doing.
You too.
Keep up the good work. Keep your chin up, man.
Always.
And you guys keep hanging in there, and guys keep doing the right thing. Tell Joe to get some sleep. Get some sleep,
I don't
man.
think that'll be an
And
issue.
right. And I'll be hearing from you soon, man. Like I said, I would love to talk to you, a little bit more one on one without, being on the
Right.
podcast,
Right.
But
Right.
like I said, anytime you want to talk, man, just feel free. Reach out. You got a friend in Texas,
Hey, you got one
you
here in
know,
Kentucky, brother.
and if you want to come down here, feel free, man. If you just want just to get away, feel free, man. I got a spot for you.
Sounds good.
Hey, I don't have a spot for 15 of y'all, but I got
Well,
a
Russ,
spot
I'm
for
just
you.
in a hotel.
Yeah. If you and Joe want to take a road trip, man, well, you guys are more than welcome, man. More than welcome. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, hey, Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast is going to get out of here. Uh, I don't know what I'm going to do tonight, but I'll figure something out. I'll probably go hang out at some creepy graveyards for a while and see what's
I
going
got hope
on in
back
there.
through your window.
But Joe, you enjoy your rest of your day, man, and I'll hear from you soon.
All right, sounds good, brother.
All right, hey, you guys enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you Sunday. I'll be in. Oh my God, where would I be in? I would be in Berkeley, California, guys. So, hey, you guys jump into the Lions Den and see what's going on with the team out of Berkeley, California. In the meantime, this is Terry with NSPS TV. All right, Joe. Have a good one, brother.
You too, brother.